Okay, who likes nature? To be around in nature? Yeah, I think almost everyone does it? Oh. Yeah, me too. I get really inspired by nature, and I also want to share an idea with you, and also see how does it work? Yeah, so we are on an Agile tour here, but we're going to talk about nature, and I want to share this idea with you. So how nature can inspire us being more agile, and how she can learn us handing out tools, because they're out there already. So I need to speak now and then. What I did and what I'm doing, when I look at organizations and I want to do some change, for example, an agile change or whatever, I always handle the organizations like organisms. And with that view, I look at organizations. So in all my years of experience in Agile, what do we have? Digital transformations, DevOps, Continuous Delivery, Scrum, Kanban, Cloud Native, you name it, all kinds of buzzwords. And I see a lot of failures as well. Who recognizes this? You have Agile implementation. I have one. Okay, you're from Holland, so maybe. But it's a bit strange, isn't it? Then we have coaches and we have all kinds of tools, and it doesn't work out. Why does it work for one team or organization, and why doesn't work for the other team? To my humble opinion, there are two causes for this. Is first, we do not even know why we are changing. It's probably the neighbor is doing it, so we're going to do it as well. We're going to do some certification, so we're agile. And I think there are a lot of talks today talking about that topic. You're not agile by certifications. But also, when we do the change, we really do not involve the people who are overcoming the change. So they are told how to do it. So, back to nature. How can nature help us? Because nature is sustainable for already 3.8 billion years, and probably all very agile because it continuously adapts and changes and senses all the things around us. So I want to take you on this tour. So let's have a stroll in this next 20 minutes or 18 minutes, and let's see how I can inspire you, hopefully, with this talk. First, sustainability. This is the only text I'm going to use today. I looked up there are a lot of explanations about sustainability, but I really find balance, harmony, and also the current and future potential you have. So being sustainable is being sustainable now, but also in future. There are no quick wins in sustainability. Then, nature. There's a whole science behind it. It's called biomimicry. Someone heard about this word? Biomimicry. Bio is nature, mimic is to copy. And we see it all around us in products we have, like the stealth. Well, I assumed you do not have a stealth at home, but if you look at they looked at the bird. We have the shark skin wetsuit. So how can we move faster through water? So we look at sharks because they've got this special skin, and we can copy that. The windmills, we got a lot of these in the Netherlands, and the fin of the whale has this perfect shape to go, how you said it, aerodynamics. So they copy the windmill wings like that. Also, this little kingfisher has this really rare beak, and when it goes for its prey in the water, then it does without losing any speed. So it goes from the air into the water without losing any speed, catches this fish. And there was this Japanese train, and when it enters a tunnel, and there was a big bang of sound and air coming behind the train, so they were looking at nature, and okay, how can we solve this issue? Well, the kingfisher is able to cope with two kinds of densities. So they really made this nose of the train the same, so then it can enter faster into the tunnel. And Velpron, yeah, well, we all know that. It's also copied. So if we look, so this is how we use nature as a model, but we also can use a mentor. And that's why I'm here. So how can use it as a mentor? Because we're changing organizations, or you are in a changing organization. So how can we learn from nature? To begin with, every function in nature has to do with behavior and structure. So it doesn't function if you do not have the right structure and if you do not have the right behavior. So if we look at, oh, I'm too far away from Agile. We're talking about Agile, or maybe we take another buzzword. You need behavior and structure. Well, we all know the structures. We've got Scrum, Kanban, Safe, Less, Nexus, whatever. All kind of scaling frameworks or other frameworks or methodologies. But we also need the right behavior, and I want to talk about this with you. So we want to have this self-organizing behavior and mindset. We have system thinking, whatever. You want people want to organize themselves. So these we need. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the behavior, because all the frameworks, etc. we heard enough today. Who knows the text on the right? Is it familiar? Huh? It's one of the Agile principles. Yeah. And who knows this picture? What's this great construction? Sorry? Ants termites hill? Yeah. And do termites have a boss? Tell how to do things? No, they're organized, self-organized. And yet they build these great structures. And within this termite hill, the temperature is always the same. So they maintain the temperature the same. So we can learn from them how they self-organize, but we also can create some cool buildings without any heaters or aircos, because we just look at the termites because they invented it already for us. So self-organizing. Bees are a nice example of self-organizing. I put here the task to divide task. As soon as in the hive there is a short of food, the workers can also go out for flight, go to collect food, bring them back, and as soon as the food level is okay again, so they will remain their tasks. It's the same if you create a backlog for your company, for example, or for multiple teams. That means that this is the specific goal you work for. They have this one course, is survival in the hive. That's what the bees do. So I already copied this at my current assignment. There were a lot of silos working, and no one was knowing the real cause. So I was looking at this, and I said, okay, we need to have everyone have the same why. Why are we doing this? And as soon as you see your colleagues or the other team are having too much work, you start helping them out. And as soon as the work is where on a normal level they can manage themselves, then you start to do your own work again. And it's also with self-organization. No one tells the bees how to do it, but they know the course they're working for. Ants. And simple rules. You got this ants nest with millions of ants, totally self-organized. No one is telling them what to do. But they live by simple rules. You're either a soldier, or you collect food, or you're a worker, and that's what you stick to the rules. And how do you translate this to our daily work? Is when you have a team, don't give them all kinds of rules that they have to obey. Just create simple rules and tell them what they're not allowed to do, so they can fill in the rest what they want to do. At the Dutch railways, I did this as well. So there were a lot of rules, yeah, you do, and so we said, okay, this is how we're going to change. You have to do the change, and you're not allowed to use another framework like Scrum. You're not allowed to expand your team. Good luck. And then nothing happens, of course. But in the end, it does. So you can also give simple rules. If you want to start self-organizing, give simple rules to the team. This one I see a lot in Agile blogs, and you see this flock of birds, and this is really Agile. When you want to change this flock of birds, and when you want to change the flow, where do you need to start? In the middle? Or on the outside? If we look at big organizations or big departments, maybe we are a flock of birds. We just respond on another. Say, yeah, you need to do this. Okay, you need to do this, and I'm just walking all around, and then the end, so we would just keep on moving. So if we want to really to bring in change and say, okay, we want to be more transparent, more agile, then we need to start at the outside. And what does the outside mean? We really need to change context and procedures for the teams. So if the bird on the outside starts to move to the inside, all the other ones will respond to that. And if you start from the middle, nothing will happen. And then you get a burnout, and you don't know how it works anymore. So never start in the middle. Always try to see and find how you can change context and procedures. So yeah, these are some examples of how we can use nature as a mentor. But how does this whole change cycle look like? Every organism goes through this change. As you sit here, we are continuously continuously exploring for danger, or you get a bit warm and then you put off your sweater, etc. We're continuously looking around us what's happening. And we should do that as a company as well. Because otherwise, if we don't do it, in the next 15 years from now, we will have another great conferences talking about another great stuff we found out, how to change the company. But you need to be continuously in change. And for example, if you see something related to your mission, of course, your mission and vision of your company, that is where you all related to, then you start evaluating. So you see a new opportunity in the market, and you start evaluating, and you evaluate with your experts, not the managers itself. You include the experts of the company. They start evaluating, should we do something with it right now? I heard about this Agile movement. Should we do something with it? So you ask your experts. And if they say, yeah, we should do. If we don't do it within a year, it will endanger our vision and mission. And then you come to the envision state. So, okay, how can we do it? And then you include the teams, because they need to do the change. They need to be changed. They need to change. So you start to envision, how will this future state look like? And then you empower people. And this sounds very easy, but it is not. Because in this circle, it means that management should describe the what, and the how is done by the teams itself, because they are doing the change. And they are changing. For this case study I did, at Dutch Railways, there was a lot of complaints by management, program manager, and said the teams are not delivering. And I said, okay, that's possible, but they work very hard, and they were lived by the day. So we saw this morning, the people who shout most has the most value. So I started working with the team and management. And what I did is, okay, you create the vision, and you explain the vision, and you also set some boundaries for the team. Tell them what not to do. Like, you're not allowed to expand the teams. We're not allowed to use another framework like Scrum. I believe we had 3 of these boundaries. Anyway, this vision was, okay, within the teams, we need to separate the user satisfaction and our profit, because they were working on both, and in the end, always the profit wins, of course, and the user satisfaction. So the site went really bad, and they were not really maintained, so we need to split that, because they're both even important. So I started, that was the vision, but the management already started to create this nice org chart, how it should look like. It's okay, that's not what we're going to do. This is your vision, and that's it. So I'm going to start with the teams. So it was really exciting, and so I think, okay, so now we're going to, how we're going to do it. And so the vision was explained, the boundaries were explained, and then I said to the teams, okay, how are you going to do it? It's all up to you. And what do you think, what happened? Nothing. They were sitting, they were not used to it, but after 2 weeks, and that's how you should do the change, very quick, very smooth. So after 2 weeks, they started to realize they can really do something. And the nicest thing is, what I've seen is this guy was really sitting behind his laptop all the time and not really involved, and I was thinking, okay, maybe he's just like that. But now we unleashed his potentials because he was free to do whatever he likes within the boundaries. So he started to give training and go to conferences, sharing a lot of his work. So it was really nice to see how this team really evolved itself towards a high-performing team. And management didn't have to do anything about it. And that's the whole difference, like for the self-organizing. That's what I learned from nature. So I created a simple set of rules, changed some context and procedures, and also gave them an insight why they do it, why they are doing it. So, and I would just want to go back to this. This whole change cycle in nature takes no longer than 6 to 9 months. That means if you have a project taking for 1 year, then I say, okay, why should you do it? It's for 3.8 billion years, it's always within the 6 to 9 months, so go faster. And if you do the change, do it fast. So you have to go through this whole cycle. People don't feel bad by this change, but do it fast. So, some takeaways. So if you want to use this, be patient, because people need time to adapt. And but also, when you change, do it quick. We all go through this theory of you. So this is our comfort zone, and this is our state. And when we change, we go through that you. But do it quick. Help them go through that you. And trust. Trust the people that they can do it, because the power of people is much more bigger than you alone. So this is what I want to share with you, some insights how you can learn from nature. And if you do not know anything, there's a website called asknature.org, and that's really nice. So you can find everything about governance or product development, whatever. And this really helped me to change organizations in an organic way. And the most important thing is the change will stay. It's not that a bunch of consultants come in, do all kinds of cool tricks, then leave again, and after 1 month, the people are working as they used to. So this is the way you can change in an organic way. I think there's no room for questions. So well, thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thanks, Mark.